Guys, recently due to a recommendation of a friend, I finally got around to starting the Promised Neverland, and oh my god, this show is absolutely phenomenal. Starting off in the show, we follow a group of orphans living in a full house that seems to be full of love and happiness. All the kids get along, they have a loving mother, and they get to play for hours on end. However, there are rules, such as never go into the gates or the border of the forest because it's dangerous. It's a seemingly logical rule to protect these kids. During one of the nights where a sibling, Connie, is finally adopted out, she's met with lots of goodbyes, and all the siblings are extremely happy for her. However, she leaves her favorite stuffed animal that she can't live without, and two of the three main characters, Emma and Norman, go out to the gate, which they're forbidden from, to give it to her. When they get to the gate, they go inside and find Connie, now lifeless inside a truck, and at this point in the show, I was absolutely hooked. How in the world could their sibling suddenly be dead after being taken to be adopted? When Norman and Emma are hiding, we find this answer. She is food for demons. In fact, all the kids are food for demons. While they are hiding, they discover they are not living in an orphanage, but rather a farm. Keeping the kids healthy, safe, and well-fed until one day they are harvested is the goal of this farm. In pure shock, Emma and Norman run away, but they leave the stuffed animal, which sets the new central conflict of the show, survival and escape from the farm. All within the first episode, we experience an emotional roller coaster. Happiness and sentimentality of the kids at the orphanage to utter shock and disarray as we're met with the onslaught of the grim reality that is the Promised Neverland. The story progresses and revolves around Emma, Ray, and Norman, all 11 years old and at the top of their class in terms of academic achievement and prowess. In fact, not only are these kids simply intelligent amongst other children, they are genius level in my opinion. Norman and Ray are masterminds with their methodical planning and ability to strategize and think far ahead, even with confounding variables. Norman has a big heart, especially for Emma, and will do anything to protect her. I personally think that Norman is the smartest of the three, but they all have their strengths. Ray is the polar opposite of Emma. He is selfish in the way that he wants to protect his friends no matter the cost, and he's absolutely willing to let others die in order for his two best friends to survive. Ray is the first one plagued with the knowledge of the circumstance, and he spent years planning an escape and a way to save his friends, all while playing a kind of dual agent role. On the surface, he is an edgier, darker of the protagonists, but is absolutely good-hearted and merely suffers the burden of knowledge of the world they live in. It would break anyone, especially an 11-year-old. Emma's also a mastermind, but in her own right, she has a huge heart and wants to save everyone. She does not sway in her ambitions and never wavers in her ideals of protecting those she loves and saving everyone. She's one of the best female protagonists I've come across in a long time, and it's such a refreshing point of the show to have such a strong female lead in the anime. She's inspiring to every single one of the characters and really drives the story. We find out within the show that the higher the test scores the kids have, the longer they stay alive. The demons' food is human brains, and at the age of 12, they're ripe for the harvest from the demons. Given that our three protagonists are 11, there isn't much time they have left to plan an escape, just a few weeks to a few months. Season 1's only 12 episodes and is fairly short, but it centers around the plans they make to save their siblings and escape the devil in disguise that is the orphanage. Promised Neverland not only has an interesting plot and strong character progression with the protagonists, but also ambiguous and enchanting villains within the mom of the house, Isabella, and one of the kind of more unknown antagonists within Grandma. Isabella, the mother of the house, is ruthless and does not waver in her plans to satisfy the demon's request for the harvest. She has spent years raising children only to send them off blissfully to adoption and immediately to their grim demise. It begs the question of whether she is an ultimately evil villain, but it isn't that simple. In this world, she is trying to survive, and this is the only way she can. I believe somewhere along the way, she lost that part of humanity and became numb to the death of those she raises and numb to the role she has within their deaths. However, only time will tell. There's so much more to the story, and she could be a lot more of a deep character than rather a purely evil villain. The other villain of the show, Grandma, is pretty unknown, but it seems she's the recruiter of all the mothers of the houses and has a direct role within contacting the demons. I'm really excited to see more of her with the upcoming seasons. Mind you, Season 2 comes out in January, so I guess I watched the show right at the perfect time. Guys, if you know me, you know I'm not typically an anime binger. I instead like to slowly watch and digest the episodes because I really like to retain everything about the show, character, and story. However, this was a show I couldn't stop watching after each episode while on the edge of my seat, hoping there would be a way for these kids to escape. Watching the plot unfold and seeing the genius level of preparation, strategy, and unity among the kids of the orphanage was absolutely incredible. There were so many little surprises within the show, and it was only 12 episodes. I haven't been able to stop thinking about everything that happened. If I were to tell you my favorite anime of the year, mind you, this excludes manga because you'll know where I stand on that. My favorite anime of the year very well could be The Promised Neverland. This show is such a refreshing anime and genre of fantasy that it brings me so much happiness to be an anime fan and to be able to experience and be enveloped within these wonderful stories. The Promised Neverland is an enchanting anime and story that I promise you will not regret if you watch. Guys, if you enjoyed this video, please like, comment, and subscribe. As always, I'll see you all next time.